So I have a question for Vinothan, yeah? What are some of the new incentives? And of course, lately you've got your NIF framework for manufacturing sector that has been launched in March. Can you tell us more about that so that, the manufacturers here, the businesses here will be thinking, what's in it for me? Anything new? Yeah, please update us.
Yeah. Before I go into that question, I just want to add on what both amazing speakers mentioned just now about the success. Also, we also must think this very clearly. You know, manufacturers in Malaysia, not only in Malaysia, in this region, most of them, you know, they are champions in process technology, processing technology, or process technology, however you want to call it. Right? You give them any product, they know how to mass produce, no matter what. But most of the products or the design product is coming from the West, right? But it's time for us to look into product technology, which is very, very essential. This is where you can find it more IP, right? There's not many IPs, like for manufacturing processing technology, there's no my if I IP, there's no point, but it's so dynamic. We should be looking into product technology. And this zone presents that, the regulatory sandbox initiative that I started, which is amazing. And we have an advantage here, or we can leverage on the primary R&D that Singapore has done from A-Star, from ACE and all of these guys, where we can move into secondary R&D to look into product technology. But this is something that we really need to think about it. In fact, there is a fund called Malaysia-Singapore Business Development Fund, right? And this is the custodian of this fund is MIDA and Enterprise Singapore, ESGA. And many of folks, the idea is there's a three scopes. Let me just go straight to the third scope, where we are encouraging Malaysian companies and Singapore companies to jointly undertake pilot projects, test bidding activities. And there's a grant for it. It's a matching grant, by the way, right? And it's limited to either you can do it in Malaysia or in Singapore, right? And many of the industry folks, they're not aware of this. So it's important to take note of this, and we can get all this information in our website. We can talk to us. We can guide you, because not many takers. Of course, another thing is that not many of them, they don't go into this speed dating and all that, right? Because they don't know who to talk to, their partners. They could be doing a lot of other stuff, but AI or battery alternative proteins, battery management system, whatever, but the test bidding activities, you don't know who to wait on. So it's something that you should really, I would suggest Malaysian companies to really take note in this, to partner with Singapore side. Product technology, this is something we'll really see where we are. Then by next 2030, more IPs to be filed. That is the real asset, actually. Now, going back to your new incentive framework, yeah. So this has been launched in March, 1st of March, mainly for manufacturing sector. First, services will be in second quarter. So the idea is to we have really overhauled the whole tax regime that we had, is like, since 1980s, right? And with all the blueprints, roadmaps that we have rolled out, it shows very clearly that what we want to do, what currently we want to do, and what we want to do in the future, right? The growth that you want to achieve, the sectors that we wanted to see how, progress and all of that. But the tax regime doesn't really jive in. into what is the blueprint that we're talking about. So, hence, that's the reason we went through a major revamp of the tax incentive. It's called new incentive framework, whereby uh, from in the past, from sectorial base or activities, we are moving forward outcome based, right? Fundamental shift changes, right? What we want to see, what the companies that wants to come and set up here, what is the deliverables they can achieve? We want to see that job creation, local supply chain, sustainability, push for net zero, and so on, right? And this will give us a better stock check or to see the outcome of the incentive that is given, right? So it is more on metrics kind of concept. We have a scorecard that we have 6 parameters that we look into it, and based on the 6 parameters, there will be marks given and which category that you fall into. So there are 3 categories. One is the baseline, the other one is the medium and high. And it is, of course, it's still again a corporate tax exemption, right? Malaysian corporate tax 25%. So with this new scheme incentive, you probably can enjoy, if you are in one of the categories, 0% for a definite period of time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, or 5% or 10%, depending on what is the value proposition that a company is proposing to us. All right. And this, we strongly believe this will be able to give us a better outcome or the spillover that we wanted. Right. Rather than the traditional way is just go look by sectorial activities. If you are in these activities, promoted activities, you are being, you are entitled for the incentive. Right. The other part is that this technology is more transparent, there is some flexibility to it. In the past, if you enjoy a tax incentive, 0% for 10 years. So there are some deliverables that need to achieve. If you miss one of the deliverables, the whole incentive will be drawback. back. You got to pay back only if you enjoy. But in this new incentive, there is period of milestone there where we look at it. For example, 10 years, we say 5 plus 5. The first 5 years, whatever that you achieved, you enjoyed, fantastic. The following 5 years, let's say you missed out 1 or 2, you couldn't enjoy and couldn't fulfill. Normally, the whole thing will be drawback, right? But here, the remaining 5 years will be drawback. What you have enjoyed, you still keep it. So there is some flexibility to it. And we are being more transparent to this. And the guidelines is now out. You can check in our website, or we can talk to us. We can discuss further about
more flexibility.
Yeah, but some level of flexibility is there. Okay, but it is more outcome driven. We want to see it could be any sectors as long it has the fundamental 6 parameters that they are key. This is under the NID, new investment aspirations, that where the outcomes that we wanted it to have. It goes very detailed until to the level of the salary, what the level of salary, what is the increase of the consumer spending, GDP of the certain country, certain area, in all of that. Yeah. So that is the we believe that will give more netizen can really enjoy the benefits of it.
Okay.